Hello students and welcome to one more session of Fundamentals of Accounting for Tourism Industry. So in our last class we have discussed about ledger accounts, how to open ledger accounts by seeing the journal entries. So we'll move on to the next topic, that is called as subsidiary books, also called as special journals. So the subsidiary books, as the name suggests, these are like the helping hands for ledgers. So these are various books of original entry maintained for specific transactions. Say for example, it may be regarding purchases, sales, cash book, bills receivable, and so on. So that's why as these journals, they don't compile all types of transactions. They are dedicated to only one type of say accounts, maybe only purchase, only cash. That's why we call it as special journals. And as they are helping the ledger account, so they are like assistants to ledger accounts and journals, so they are called as subsidiary books. So they're not the books of principal book of accounts as such. So features of subsidiary books include these books are, as I said, are assistant to the main book, that is the ledger. They are the day books, means here also, as in journal, we are going to write the transaction as and when they occur. Then these transactions are not journalized. Okay, so it's anything related to cash. You are recording it and it's not been journalized, and no say narration and all is not done. And they are used for specific transactions only, not for all. So as they are specified for specific transaction, these are the following types of subsidiary books which the institutions, organizations were trading, non-trading keep. So this may be a cash book where all details regarding receipts and payment of cash daily item wise is recorded. Then the next is the purchase book. Here all transactions regarding purchase of say raw materials only. When you talk about purchase, it is not about say purchase of assets or anything, say purchase of investments or anything as such. So it is purchases regarding say supplies only. Okay, so it will be supplies of raw materials or anything else which is required for production. So purchase book is not about purchase of assets. The next is sales book. Sales book, we record all transaction regarding sales. It may be sales of product or sales of service. So it is all about different items of sales which are happening and not asset sales again. And purchase return book, this is specified for any purchase returned by the company. Say the company is buying some supplies, if they are defective or maybe as not as per the order, then or they are extra, then the companies have a tendency of returning back any defective or extra items. So whichever such items are returned, those things are written in the purchase return book. Then the next is sales return book. So this, as the name suggests, here we are going to write the details of those items which are returned by our customers to us. It may be again the same thing, maybe not matching with the color or maybe faulty, defective or anything else. So if the customers are returning back to us the sales made, then so such transactions are returned in the sales return book. Then the next of subsidiary book is the bills receivable book. Now bills receivables are those bills which our customers give us in writing. They are like invoice or say vouchers or like promissory notes where the customer is promising to pay us on a particular date. So whoever has purchased from us, they are giving you a document, or you can say a bill or a voucher, or say for example, where the customer is promising to pay to the seller that he is going to uh, pay the amount at a particular date. So all such bills receivable accepted are going to be written in bills receivable book. Similarly, even we as an organization can give such documentary evidence or say bills to our suppliers, a promise to pay them a particular amount on a particular date. So such bills made, accepted are being written in the bills payable book. Then miscellaneous books are those, here all those transactions are written where they are very petty items and they are not written in any other book, or so they can't be written in any other book. Say some petty items or say some very unique items which will happen once in a while, such transactions are written in the miscellaneous book. So these are the different types of subsidiary books. So we are going to study now what is cash book, what are the different types, how it is recorded. So cash book is a records of all cash receipts and payments. So on the left side, that is the debit side, we are going to record all cash receipts. On the right side, it is like a ledger account only. On the right side, we are going to measure all payments. So cash book can be maintained in any of these three types. We have one column cash book, two columns and three columns. So one column cash book looks something like this, where the total book is divided into two phases. Here is this side is the debit side and the right side is the credit side. So we have date, particulars, receipt number. Receipt number means the receipt. Say when you are receiving something, you will give a receipt. So that number is written. Then LF is the ledger folio, means this transaction is even recorded in the ledger account. So there also that account is maintained. So that number is there. And the amount. This is the debit amount. Similarly, on the right hand side, we have again date, particulars. Then this is voucher number. Voucher number means when you are making the payment. So that payment, that documentary evidence is the voucher number which you have to write it here. Then again same LF and the credit amount. That is, so this side, right side, we are going to write all the payments made. Left side we are going to write all the receipts done, receipts received. So this is what one column cash book has. So as you can see there is only one amount column. So we call it as one column cash book. So you can see one example here. So there is some balance in hand on 1st December. Then some groceries are purchased. Then sales are happening. Then payment of tax, salaries, again sales, then repairs, sales. So this, if you put in a one column cash book, it is something like this. Say for example, balance in hand. So when you're starting the account, you have to start with, say I see here, I'm writing two balance brought down, means this is the balance which is there at the start of the month. So it is 15,000 balance. On the debit side, we start with the balance. Then on the same day, the food truck owner has purchased some groceries. So his purchase of groceries means there is payment made. So by purchase 3,200. Okay, so as payment is made, so you are going to write it on the right side, the credit side, with date about the purchases. Then the third transaction is on the same day, some sales are made. So he's a food truck owner. So he has sold some, say, food items and has received 4,800 rupees. So as sales is happening, sales means cash is coming in. So to sales, it is 4,800. Then on 2nd December, he is paying some taxes, maybe that tax of say halting is stuck at that particular place and doing the business. So payment of taxes means again cash is going out. So say here you can see buy taxes 250 rupees. Then he's also paying salaries on that same day. So payment of salaries means again here on the right hand side, buy salaries 2,500. Then again next same day there are sales. So sales again cash receipts. So you can see that two sales 3,800 on 3rd December. Then there is a repairs on, so truck has some repairs and some fuel expenses. So expenses means it is again payment. So on the right hand side you can see repairs and fuels 2,000 rupees. Then on that day again there is 3,000 rupees sales. So sales means again on the left hand side, debit side, two sales 3,800 rupees. So those were the transaction given. There is only one amount column. So we call it as one column cash book. So now you can see that debit side total, or you can say the left hand side total is more than the right hand side total. So this 15,000 plus 4,800 plus 3,200 plus 3,800 sums up together to become 26,800. So that same total we write it here, and we total all these remaining credit items, that is 3,200, 4,250, 2,500, 2,000, 2,000. So you add this and minus it from 26,800, you get the balance 18,850. Okay, so it is similar like your ledger account. So same type of method is used in the subsidiary book. So this is a one column cash book. Then a two column cash book. Here we have two amount columns, rest all is same. Because of the space was not sufficient, I have not written the receipt number, ledger folio and voucher number. But other things being the same, here only one extra thing is, here you are going to write one extra column of amount if you have received or allowed any discount. So if you have made sales and you have given discount to the customer, that amount you will write here as discount allowed. And if you have bought something for that is purchased something and the supplier is giving you some amount of discount, you're going to write it here in the discount received. So this is a two column cash book. So here along with the amount column you are having one more amount column specifying the discount allowed or received by that company. Then this is the three column cash book. So here also for convenience I have avoided that column which has receipt number, ledger folio and voucher number. So then this is a three column cash book. So three column cash book, as I told you before, one column cash book means one amount column, two column cash book means amount column plus discount column. Three column cash book, here you are maintaining both the cash and bank balance in single statement along with the discount allowed and received. So you can see here. So here is the bank column, means any receipts, anything you deposit in the bank, you are going to write it in the bank column. Cash in the office will be written here. Discount allowed to customers, whether he is giving a check or he is giving a cash, it's written in the discount column. Similarly here, any payment made by the bank, you're going to write it in the bank column. Any payment made by the office cashier, you're going to write in cash column. And any discount received by you by purchase is either through check payment or cash payment, we are writing here. So this is a three column cash book. So we are going to solve few problems on three column cash book in our future classes. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood. Raise questions in comments so that I can solve that in my next class. So that's all for today. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you.